to achieve, then you set a Mangala chant, not just for reading Bhagavatam. So Vastunadesh, what is our goal? So let's be very intentional in our prayer that we are trying to read Srimad Bhagavatam so that we can learn to love Krishna. That's our goal. Vastunadesh. Ashirvada is we're requesting for the blessings, and Namaskara is we are offering our obeisances. So if everyone's ready with me, who's excited to go on this journey as we enter Srimad Bhagavatam and delve into the pastimes of Lord Krishna? Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dheena Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Before I begin, I want to take the blessings of all the devotees so that what I say is relevant, useful, and practical in the glorification of Srila Prabhupada, the previous acharyas, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Sri Sri Radha Gokulananda, and making sure that it's authentic and honest to the text, which is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, please, so if everyone gives me their blessings, then I'm happy to move on. If anyone objects, then please let me know now. So, Jai, thank you, Madhu Mataji, for your blessings. So, let me share the screen. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Here we go. So we're reading from chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Share screen. This one here. See whether this works. All working?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay, super. So, we're reading from chapter 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam. As you can see, it's entitled, Krishna Shows the Universal Form Within His Mouth. What a title. So, let's just see how we got here. Does anyone remember what happened in the last chapter? Anyone?
We discussed the story, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We discussed the story about Trinavarta, who the wind demon who takes Krishna, and Krishna becomes heavy, and then he kills him. So yes, yeah, we discussed about that. But
thank you. So Trinavarta and also there's another demon also in that chapter, Mataji,
which represent lethargy, laziness, and one more thing I forgot. But that's what we learned about, yeah.
Amazing, thank you. Yes, Trinavrata is the demon in the last chapter. So, at the end of the last chapter, you might remember one detail. That Krishna yawns his mouth. Like that, he yawns. And then Mother Yashoda sees in his mouth, and she sees something astonishing. Does anyone remember what she sees?
Universe, Prabhuji.
Yeah, universe. Thank you, Mataji. Universal. She sees the entire universe in Krishna's mouth. So all these astrologers and astronomers and scientists, they spend so long trying to observe the universe. But the best astronomer is Mother Yashoda. She didn't have to go and study at NASA. She just looked in Krishna's mouth and she saw the entire universe. Okay? And we'll just give a little bit of context also around these chapters. So Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the essence of Vedic literature. So the nectar is, many times the Shastras will say that Shastra is nectar. Vedic scripture is nectar. Why? Because the Vedic scriptures will give you the way that you can navigate your life and achieve success. But those who are more intelligent and more advanced, the Vedic literature says the nectar within the nectar are 6 Puranas. The Padma Purana, the Vishnu Purana, and so on and so forth. There are 6 Puranas. The 6 Puranas in the mode of goodness are considered even more nectarian. And of those 6 Puranas, the Srimad Bhagavatam is considered the most nectarian. Lord Shiva says that. He says that Srimad Bhagavatam is the most nectarian. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, the different cantos are compared to different bodily limbs of Krishna. So the first and second canto are compared to the feet. And in this way, they rise and rise and rise. And the 10th canto is compared to, does anyone know?
The lotus face of Krishna.
The lotus face of Krishna. The 10th canto is the face of Krishna. So here we are in the 10th canto, which has begun on the 4th day of the 7 days of recitation of Bhagavatam. The 10th canto is answering a question that the sages have asked in the first chapter. You might remember many cantos ago, the sages, they asked 6 questions. And one of the questions they asked was to explain the narrations of the Lord. Describe in detail the narrations of the Lord. And that time, they had asked in detail, O wise Sutta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, performed by his internal powers. So they ask for all the incarnations there, but then they explain, we never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with him relish his pastimes at every moment. It's very powerful. Yashvinvatam rasagñanam svadu svadu pade pade. Those who have developed that taste for hearing, they will relish these pastimes at every moment, pade pade, every step they will relish. And then they describe the activities of Krishna and Balaram. Kritavan kila karmani saha ramena keshava ati martyani bhagavan gudha kapata manusha. Kapata, apparently, disguised as a human being. Lord Sri Krishna, personality of Godhead, along with Balaram, played like a human being, and so masked, he performed superhuman activities. So in that chapter, the sages had asked, indirectly, to talk about Krishna, but not just Krishna, Saharamena Keshava, along with Balaram. They had heard of these superhuman activities, the astonishing activities. And now we're about to discuss the 10th canto, and we're about to discuss that section, which is about Krishna's superhuman activities. The first 5 chapters of the 10th canto are all about Krishna's birth, about the preparation, about the festival, about the ominous omen from the sky, the Akashavani, and then from that, Krishna's birth, his exchanging, all of this we have discussed. Balaram being transferred into Rohini's womb, first 5 chapters. 6th chapter, we describe the killing of the Putana demon. Putana demon, she came so beautifully looking. She snuck herself into the house. She tried to kill Krishna by poison smeared on her breasts, and Krishna destroyed her. But he gave her the position of a mother. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigam sayappaya yadhyapyasachi lebhe gatim dat ruchitam kritatonyam kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema. Who is more merciful than Krishna? When someone came to kill him, he gave the position of mother. How many of you on the call will say you'll do the same thing? Someone comes to kill you and you'll respect them like your mother. Anyone on this call? Let me know. Because Bhagavatam says there is no other person. Kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema. Apparently none of us will do that, because there's only one person who will do that. That is Krishna. Who is more merciful? Who is so merciful? Kam vadayalum. That's chapter 6. Chapter 7, we discussed Trinavarta and Shakatasura. And now, Shukadev Goswami remembers at the beginning of chapter 8. He remembers, I forgot a pastime. This is explained by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. He remembers, oh my god, I forgot a pastime. Something happened before Trinavarta, and that is the naming ceremony of Krishna and Balaram. So this chapter begins by discussing the naming ceremony of Krishna and Balaram. So we'll read from, so the first 19 verses are all about this naming ceremony. We'll read a few verses, then we'll discuss some context and discuss some points. So if we have a volunteer to read the first 5 verses, please.
If you are in a position to read, please raise your hand. First 5 verses, please. Can you make the screen a little bigger, Sundar Chaitanya, if possible?
Is that good?
Yeah, better. Looks like no hands raised. Madhu Mataji had kindly raised. If you can kindly read 5 texts, please.
Hare Krishna, Babuji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Text 1. Sukdev Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit. Oh, okay. Sumit Prabhu, your box is coming on my screen, sorry.
Mataji, you can move around.
Yeah. I know how to manage now. Okay, so again, Sukdev Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, the priest of the Yadu dynasty, namely Garga Muni, who has highly elevated in austerity and penance, was then inspired by Vasudev to go see Nanda Maharaj at his home. Text second. When Nanda Maharaj saw Garg Muni present at his home, Nanda was so pleased that he stood up to receive him with folded hand. Although seeing Garg Muni with his eyes, Nanda Maharaj could appreciate that Garg Muni was Adokshada, that is, he was not an ordinary person seen by material senses. And text third, Prabhuji, yes, thank you. When Garg Muni had been properly received as a guest and was very comfortably seated, Nanda Maharaj submitted with gentle and submissive words. Dear sir, because you are a devotee, you are full in everything, yet my duty is to serve you. Kindly order me, what can I do for you? O my Lord, O great devotee, persons like you move from one place to another, not for their own interest, but for the sake of poor hearted Grahastha householders. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. And text 5. O great saintly person, you have compiled the astrological knowledge by which one can understand past and present unseen things. By the strength of this knowledge, any human being can understand what he has done in the past life and how it affects his present life. This is known to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, sorry, can you do one more verse? My mistake. You also do verse 6.
Thank you, Prabhu. My Lord, you are the best of the Brahmanas, especially because you are fully aware of the Jyotish Shastra, the astrological science. Therefore, you are naturally the spiritual master of every human being. This being so, since you have kindly come to my house, kindly execute the reformatory activities for my 2 sons. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So, let's give the context. So, Shukadev Goswami is speaking. He says in the last chapter, he ends the last chapter and says, one time Krishna yawned, and in his mouth, Mother Yashoda saw the universal form. And then, we don't know what happens. All of a sudden, this chapter starts. So, we look at the Acharya's commentaries. So, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, in the year 1704, he has compiled his Sarartha Darshani commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is a great Acharya in our Sampradaya. He is the spiritual master of Baladev Vidyabhushan, and he is one of the great saviors of the Sampradaya in a time of difficulty. So he writes that Shukadev Goswami, because he's a wonderful personality, and he had understood the heart of Shukadev Goswami because of his devotion. Shukadev Goswami, remembering the universal form pastime, remembers another time where Yashoda saw the universal form in Krishna's mouth. That's what Shukadev Goswami remembers. Then he remembers that happened after the naming ceremony. He remembers, oh, there was the name boys, they played so much, and then the universal form was shown. And so naturally, in his samadhi, in his meditation, he quickly remembers, oh, I forgot to tell this pastime, so he's telling this pastime. Therefore, if you look between the chapters, you might think this is quite abrupt, but the Acharya's commentaries connect it for us, that's how the transition flows. So how did Krishna and Balaram, Saha Ramena Keshava, how did they get those names? Rama and Keshava, how did they get these names? So, there is the Acharya of the Yadu Sampradaya, Yadu Vamshi, the Yadu line, the Yadu dynasty. And the Acharya, the Kulo Purohit, was Gargacharya, Gargamuni. So Gargamuni is a great saintly person. He's in the dynasty of Bharadvaja Muni, and he is the family priest for the Yadu dynasty. Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, they are both in the Yadu dynasty. We have discussed that in chapter 5 because they're connected as cousins. And so Nanda Maharaj is kind of like an offshoot because his mother is a Vaishya, and then he also married a Vaishya, and he is living in the Vaishya lifestyle. Nanda Maharaj's family lived as Vaishyas, and Vasudev stayed in the palace, son of a Kshatriya woman, and so on, so therefore he was considered a Kshatriya. But Garga Muni is actually the family priest for both of them. Vasudev encourages Garga Muni to go and do the name ceremony for Nanda Maharaj, to go and meet Nanda Maharaj, because Vasudev knows that actually his son is there, Krishna is there. Of course, Nanda Maharaj is now in Yogamaya, he does not remember that Krishna is his son. So, Garga Muni goes, and Nanda Maharaj receives him. He receives him, and he acknowledges that this person is Adokshaja. Adokshaja is the name we often give to the Lord, because Adokshaja means inconceivable to ordinary senses. But even the pure devotees are Adokshaja, right? Na martya buddha suyeta. We say the Guru. We should not assume that he's a normal person. The Guru, we should not use martya buddhi, human intelligence, to try and understand. So that way, Adokshaja, Garga Muni, is beyond the senses. In text 4, Mahad Vikalanam Rinam Dhinam Dina Chetasam. Why do the saintly persons come to our house? This is the first lesson for all of us. Why does saintly person come to the house of Grihastha? Anyone got any answers?
To relieve
Do they
us from
come
material
so that they can eat nice food?
contamination? Sorry,
Sorry, Mataji, I spoke over you.
sorry, to relieve us from the material contamination, otherwise we're just
Yeah.
swamped in it really, we would forget spiritual life.
Exactly, Mataji. How difficult it is for the Grihastha, who is involved in so many worldly affairs, to constantly remember his goal, which is beyond this world. It's very difficult. Family, kids, money, earning, maintaining the house, maintaining social things, going to, social customs and so on. So there's a lot of things are happening. Therefore, the saintly person comes to the house of the Grihastha to purify them. That's the first lesson. If we are Grihasthas, then we might ask, how we can live our spiritual life? What should we do? We should invite the saintly persons and the devotees to the home and carry out programs by which we can be delivered. Now, Prabhupada, when he's speaking on this class, I was listening, what class did Srila Prabhupada do on this? Prabhupada gives another angle also. Srila Prabhupada says, that's true. You need saintly persons to come to your house, but make sure they're saintly persons. Because Sita was home alone, and a very nice saintly person who looked like a rishi had come to the house. But who was he? He was not a saintly person. He was Ravana, disguised as a saintly person. So, we should let the bona fide saintly persons into one's house, and we should serve them, and we should become purified by their association. But we should make sure that they are a bona fide saintly person. That's what Srila Prabhupada said in that class. Then Gargacharya is actually an expert in astrology, astrological science. Astrology is a whole other topic, and I don't want to put too much effort there today. But Nanda Maharaj is a perfect father, Srila Prabhupada explains in the commentary, that he really cared about the well-being of his son. And so he wanted the astrology to be carried out for his sons. In this age of Kali, astrology works only if done by an astrologer, and the astrologer should not make a living from astrology. That's what the Shastra says. As soon as one tries to do astrology or Ayurveda and take money, then the demigods remove their powers for that person. That's what the acharyas say. That's its own controversy, so I don't want to put energy there. So if you have questions, we'll postpone just a little bit. But this is what Garga Muni, who's an expert, bona fide astrologer, real astrologer, so he could see the Jyotisha. So Nanda Maharaj wants to help his son. That's what a father does. Nowadays, Prabhupada says the fathers don't care about the well-being of their children. But Nanda Maharaj, as a real father, cared about the well-being. So he wanted to carry out the astrological horoscope naming ceremony. Okay. Do you have anything to add?
Nothing. We can move on, I think. We can only read the selected text given in the interest of time.
Yes. So can someone read from verses 7 to verse number 10?
Okay, Lalita Preeti. Okay. Can you read?
Yeah, I can. Sundachar, can you make the font little bigger? Garga Muni said, "My dear Nanda Maharaja, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Thank you. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kamsa will consider them the sons of Devaki. Kamsa is both a great diplomat and very sinful man. Therefore, having heard from Yoga Maya, the daughter of Devaki, that the child who will kill him has already been born somewhere else, having heard that the 8th pregnancy of Devaki could not bring forth a female child, and having understood your friendship with Vasudeva, Kamsa, upon hearing the purificatory process has been performed by me, the priest of Yadu dynasty, may certainly consider all these points and suspect that Krishna is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then he might take steps to kill Krishna. That would be a catastrophe. Can you scroll? Nanda Maharaja said, "My dear great sage, if you think that you are performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cowshed of my house, without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential." Shall I continue?
Okay, thank you. No, that's it. So, here you can see Gargacharya's fear. Remember what context we are in. Last few chapters have put us in a place where it's a danger and survival mode that the Brajavasis are experiencing. Putana, they got terrified. They were frightened by, oh my God, so many inauspicious things are happening. They carried out so many ritualistic ceremonies to ward off the bad omen. Similarly, Trinavarta and so on. So there is a very cautious spirit because Kamsa had ordered for the killing of the babies, which shows what a demoniac person he is. Gargacharya is very careful, very intelligent, and so he makes sure that this is hidden. In that same way, we should use our intelligence in Krishna's service. You can say to me, Gargacharya does not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gargacharya knows. Why is he doing this? Krishna is God, therefore he can defend himself. Just because God can defend himself does not mean that we should not be his servant. Our duty is to serve the spiritual master. Our duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. Just because the spiritual master is powerful and the Supreme Lord is powerful does not remove us from our service. Therefore, we should use all of our intelligence. Therefore, we see circumstances where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was being chased by others who were trying to kill him. And one of the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur switches clothes with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, so that the spiritual master can be saved and run away. You can then say, but is the spiritual master not Sakshad Haritvena? No, it is the case. Yet it is our servant as devotees to be cautious, to be skeptical, and to protect and safeguard the spiritual life and spiritual atmosphere around us. It is not a sin for Gargacharya to do this in hiding. Brahmanas are truthful. So therefore you will say, oh no, but then he should be open. Sadhu means he's open. Everywhere he's the same. No, it means that he's intelligent. He does what is there best for protecting the spiritual atmosphere and the spiritual life. This is something we should also take. So first lesson, if we are grihastas and we're trapped in so many worldly things, we should invite saintly persons who are genuine saintly persons to deliver us. Second point is that in the same way Gargacharya, Gargamuni was so intelligent, we should also develop this kind of intelligence in our spiritual life. Not because Krishna is not intelligent, but because we want to serve Krishna and we want to make our spiritual life stronger and easier. That's the second point. Okay, so then Gargamuni says this, Nanda Maharaj agrees to not do a big celebration, but to do a secret ceremony. And then in verse number 12, he gives the name to child of Rohini. We'll read this verse together. No, it's not working.
It is, we can see.
Okay, perfect. Shri Garga Uvacha Ayam hi Rohino Putro Ramayan Suhrudo Gunai Akyasyate Rama iti Bhaladikyad Bhalam Vidu Yaduna Bhavat Sankarshana Musantapi. Gargamuni said, this child, son of Rohini, will give happiness, all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Rama, number one. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala, number two. Moreover, because he unites two families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Sankarshana, number three. Three names are given by Gargamuni to Balaram: Rama, Bala, and Sankarshana. Rama, why? Because he gives pleasure. Bala, why? Because he has extraordinary physical strength. And Sankarshana, Akarshana means attraction, Sam means together. Sam Akarshana becomes Sankarshana. He unites the two families, the family of Vasudev and the family of Nanda. So three names are given for Balaram. So I will ask a quiz at the end. Let's see who remembers this. Rama, Bala, and Sankarshana. Actually, Sankarshana, Vishnu Chakravarti gives a separate thing. I'm looking at time. So Sankarshana, Karshana also means the plowing. Pulling the plow. And because he will be pulling the plow, he is given the name Sankarshana as well. That Gargamuni had already realized by his astrological intelligence. So Balaram is given three names: Rama, Bala, and Sankarshana. And then in verses 13 to 19 of this chapter, where am I? In verses 13 to 19 of this chapter, the other person is given. Krishna's name is given. First, in verse number 13, Gargamuni knows by his devotion and his purity that Krishna is God. Gargamuni is described as Su Mahatapa. That he is Su means very, Maha means great, Tapa means austerity. Very great saintly person with great austerity. And he's described as Adokshaja. He's not an ordinary person. What does he know? Let's see, 13 to 19. Someone can read the verses.
Yeah, Karuneshwari Mataji.
Karuneshwari Mataji.
Takes 30. You can hear, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Takes 13. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed three different colors: white, red, and yellow. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. In other Dwapar Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of Shuka, a parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. Text 14. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared previously as the son of the Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call his child Vasudeva. Text 15. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. Text 16, Prabhuji.
Yes, 16 to 19, Mataji.
Text 16. To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd main of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you, and by his grace, only you will surpass all difficulties. Text 17. O Nanda Maharaja, as recorded in the history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by the thieves, this child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbed the rogues and thieves. Text 18. Demons, asuras, cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu in their side. Similarly, any reason, similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate because such persons are very much affectionate towards Krishna. They cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kansa or by the internal enemies, the senses. Text 19. In conclusion, therefore, O Nanda Maharaja, this child of yours is as good as Narayana. In his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayana. You should all raise his child very carefully and cautiously. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gargamuni, what's he done? He's told an open secret. This is called open secret, where it's a secret, but it's obvious what the secret is. He's told, first he said, your sun appears in different colors, verse number 13. He sometimes appears white, sometimes red, sometimes yellow. Then, for many reasons, your son also appeared in some time as the child of Vasudev. Therefore, he's called Vasudev. So he's telling so many different open secrets. First, that your son is a powerful person. He has many incarnations. Second, that this son is actually the son of Vasudev. Therefore, he will be called Vasudev. Third, he's explained, for your son Bahu, there are many incarnations. Therefore, he's given many different names because of his many different activities. 16, he's told that he's the protector of Gokul. Therefore, anything relating to Vrindavan will become, anything relating to him will overcome any difficulties, surpass any difficulties. And then he said something even more interesting to give another clue. It's like a riddle, giving different levels. When sometimes you tell someone something and then you tell, this is how Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur explains. He's giving like one more hint. And then he says, when there was one time when there was a bad government because Indra had been removed, then your son came to help them. Now, devotees, you all know, who comes when Indra is having difficulties? Etes chamsakalaha pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Vridhayanti Yuge Yuge. When Indra has difficulties, there's only one person that comes. Etes chamsakalaha pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So again, he's revealing that secret. He helped defeat the enemies of Indra. Therefore, he says in number 19, a very famous, very quoted verse. Srila Prabhupada quotes this a lot, the Acharyas quote this a lot. This verse is an incredible verse. You have to put yourself in the position of Parikshit Maharaj, who's there on the 4th day. He's been so excited to hear the essence, and he's finally hearing it about Krishna, Krishna's naming, Krishna's form. But who is Krishna? Tasmanandhatmajoyam te Narayana samoghune Shriya kirtyanubhavena Gopayasva samahitaha. Tasmanandatmajoyam te Narayana samogune. Narayano samogune. But not just qualities, which qualities? Shriya kirta anubhavena, opulence, glories, and so forth. They are all the same as Narayan. Now I'm going to ask a bit of an obvious question to devotees, but please answer it. Please, devotees, answer. Who is equal to Narayan? Who is equal to Narayan?
Krishna. Prabhuji, Krishna?
No one, Prabhuji.
Krishna? Karuneshwari
Krishna
Mataji?
is Narayan.
I think no
Krishna is
one is,
Narayan. Yeah.
he is the only one unique. I mean, he is the supreme.
Yeah. There is no one equal to Narayan. Because Krishna is not different from Narayan, Mishaji. That's why in that sense, that there is no one equal to him. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. No one can do the activities he performs. Natat samascha vyadikascha drishyate. No one can be considered equal to him. Parasya shaktir vividhaiva shtuyate svabhaviki gnana bhalakriyascha. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Natat samascha vyadikascha drishyate. Parasya shaktir vividhaiva shtuyate svabhaviki gnana bhalakriyascha. Prabhupada quotes this a lot. He likes that third line. That the Supreme Lord has multifarious energies. So there is no one equal. The purport is very nice. In this verse, the word Narayana Samaha is significant. Narayana has no equal. He is Asamordva. Asamordva is a wonderful word. Urdva means greater. Sama means equal. A means opposite. There is no one who is equal or greater than him. This is Narayana. Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahmarudhradi Daivata Smattena Diksheta Sapashanti Bhave Dhruvam. Those who consider other devatas to be equal to Narayana are considered agnostics by Padma Puran. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam says, Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutas Tunvanti Divyai Sadai Vede Sango Pango Kamishade Gayanti Yan Samagava Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Na Vidur Sura Suragana Tasmai something Namaha. That Narayana is the supreme. Brahma, Rudra, and the other devas, Brahma, Rudra, the Devata, they're all servants of Narayana. Similarly, the other scriptures, Padma Purana says that we might ask so many questions and we might argue for thousands and thousands of kalpas, who is the supreme? Jalpantu kalpavadhim siddhante punar eka eva bhagavan vishnu hu samstagama. There is no one equal to Narayan. Garga Muni says your child is equal to Narayan. He's given it away. And anyone who's reading Srimad Bhagavatam, anyone who's heard, so remember, Parikshit Maharaj, he has heard all the before verses. He has heard that Krishna is the person that helps destroy the enemies of Indra. He has heard about this, Krishna comes in the different incarnations. He has heard that it's Krishna who is the source of all incarnations. Parikshit Maharaj, as soon as he hears this, he's in ecstasy. Because he is there saying, Gargamuni, you gave away the secret. Narayana Samo Gunai. I know the secret. This Krishna is Narayana. So you have to put yourself in the position of the audience and imagine how much nectar, how much this is the climax for them. That there's been like a secret that's hidden, but it's been revealed. That Narayana is there. Okay, so this is a very beautiful verse. You can read it. It's a very long purport actually. Not here. Okay, the next one is long. Okay, fine. But you can read these verses from 13 to 19, the glories of the Supreme. And Srila Prabhupada writes really powerfully. So, in this way, in verse number 13, actually the name is given. Because of his Krishna-ness, Krishna means black, with darkish complexion, he is given the name Krishna. Idanim Krishnatam Gataha. In this moment, he is assumed a blackish color. Similarly, in the 15th purport, you can also have a deep description. He has other names, Bhaktavatsala, Giridhari, Govinda, Gopala. If we analyze the nirukti or semantic derivation of the word Krishna, we find that Na signifies he stops the repetition of birth and death. And Krish means satartha or existence. So he exists and he stops those who are coming in and out of existence by providing the real existence. The Krishna is the whole of existence. Similarly, Krish means attraction and Na means ananda or bliss. Krishna is known as Mukunda because he wants to give everyone spiritual, eternal, blissful life. So there are different etymological derivations of the name Krishna. It's described by Jiva Goswami that there are over 30 meanings of the word Krishna. So these are just 2 meanings for us today. If you want, you can do that research. These acharyas, they have so much nectar that they derive. When Krishna closes his eyes to drink the breast milk of Putana, do you know how many commentaries Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives? How many reasons why he closed his eyes? Do you know?
We only discussed 4 or 5, but Acharya had given around 16 or 27.
27 explanations. 27
Okay.
commentaries. So we don't know. We just think Krishna closed his eyes. We're all thinking, oh, that's nice. But Acharyas, they're seeing on a different level. So Krishna, also the name. Krish, attraction, na, ananda. Krish, existence, na, stopping birth and death. These are two commentaries there. So here we are. Garga Muni has given the name to Krishna. That's his service. What is our service? What's our lesson that we learn from this? Not only is it climatic and exciting, but there's a lesson for us. Garga Muni gives the name to Krishna, and we will take the name of Krishna. Garga Muni gives the name to Krishna, and we will chant the name of Krishna. That's what we should do. So Garga Muni, he has actually given the greatest nectar to the world. Therefore, people will say that I am the servant of Garga Muni. Certain places in Vrindavan, they say, Garga Muni is the greatest. Why? Because you've given the nectar to the world. What is the nectar to this world? The holy names of the Lord. That is the real nectar. Krishna. That is nectar. So now we know that Krishna is given this name. So Balarama, 3 names, and Krishna is given this name, along with many others, with the secrets revealed.
Along with Vasudeva as well.
Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva.
So we actually find these names of Rama and Krishna in the Vedas. Garga Muni had not just named them, but they were always there in the Vedas. So it is not something new, isn't it? So the Krishna's name and Rama name were eternally there.
Yeah, Krishna and Balarama are eternally there in the spiritual world. Those names are eternally there in the scriptures, and therefore Garga Muni is actually not giving the name. Garga Muni is repeating Krishna's name back to himself. Krishna is there as Krishna, and Garga Muni is saying, yes, you are Krishna. Actually, there's also a separate point here, but because of time, I won't go into detail. You see here it says white, red, and yellow. Given the explanation that yellow refers to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that golden. And there are many commentaries which say that. But this is one of the commentaries where Garga Muni is confirming that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. There is evidence from Mahabharata, Suvarna Varna Hemangas Varangas Chandanangadi. There is evidence from later on in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prahlad Maharaj says, Channa Kalau, where you are hidden in Kali Yuga. When Karabhajana says to the King Nimi that Yajant Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam, Sangopangastra Parshadam, Yagne Sankirtana Praye, Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. So if anyone is telling you that Mahaprabhu is not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, you just show them these verses. This is very clearly mentioned, so please don't think that it's a concoction.
So just one point regarding white Lord appeared as Varaha, Sveta Varaha, and Rakta Varaha. Another time, Lord appeared as red Varaha, and yellow definitely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So different colors. Garga Muni already predicted clearly. It is mentioned yellow color, and Vishnu Sahasranama corroborate with this yellow Suvarna. Suvarna means golden color of the Lord. Yeah.
So the next section, so this is the first section, which is the naming. Then I want you to remember this chapter has 3 sections. First section is naming. We took some lessons from that. Saintly persons need to be invited to our home. We need to be secretive. We need to be honest. We need to be intelligent so that we can protect our spiritual life. And that the Lord is, his names we should take. These are the lessons we've taken from the first section. The second section, I will barely speak. Srimad Bhagavatam will speak for itself. It's a nectarian section. I want you to turn off your philosophical brains for some time and just enjoy the commentaries given. I need 2 volunteers to just read translations, and we'll recite one of the verses in the middle. Any volunteers?
I can read.
You want to taste them? Okay. You can take it next.
From which one?
I want you to read from verse 21, and I will tell you when to stop.
After a short time passed, both brothers, Rama and Krishna, began to crawl on the ground of Vraja with the strength of their hands and knees, and thus enjoy their childhood play. When Krishna and Balarama, with the strength of their legs, crawled in the muddy places created in Vraja by cow dung and cow urine, their crawling resembled the crawling of serpents, and the sound of their ankle bells was very charming. Very pleased by the sound of other people's ankle bells, they used to follow these people as if going to their mothers. But when they saw that these were other people, they became afraid and returned to their real mothers, Yashoda and Rohini. Dressed with muddy earth, mixed with cow dung and cow urine, the babies looked very beautiful. And when they went to their mothers, both Yashoda and Rohini picked them up with great affection, embraced them, and allowed them to suck the milk flowing from their breast. While sucking the breast, the babies smiled, and their small teeth were visible. Their mothers, upon seeing those beautiful teeth, enjoyed great transcendental bliss. Within the house of Nanda Maharaja, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies Rama and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the cows' tails, and the cows would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. When Mother Yashoda and Rohini were unable to protect the babies from calamities threatened by horned cows, by fire, by animals with claws and teeth, such as monkeys, dogs, and cats, and by thorns, swords, and other weapons on the ground, they were always in anxiety, and their household engagements were disturbed. At that time, they were fully equipoised in the transcendental ecstasy known as the distress of material affection, for this was aroused within their minds.
Thank
O
you. Do we
King
have any other
Parikshit.
volunteers? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll read.
I,
Oh,
I
please,
can
sorry.
read now. Sorry, I can. I just couldn't before my machine was going. You wouldn't hear a thing. Can you tell me where I'm to read from, please?
From 26 onwards,
From
right?
26
Thank
to
you.
30, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. O King Parikshit, within a very short time, both Rama and Krishna began to walk. So I've just jumped. Hang on, just jumping a bit. Began to walk very easily in Gokula on their legs by their own strength without the need to crawl. Text 27. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, along with Balaram, began to play with the other children of the cowherd men, thus awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd women. Text 28. Observing the very attractive childish restlessness of Krishna, all the gopis in the neighborhood, to hear about Krishna's activities again and again, would approach Mother Yashoda and speak to her as follows. Can it go up a little higher, please, Prabhuji?
Can you
Can you?
scroll?
Thank you so much. That's lovely. Text 29. Our dear friend Yashoda, your son sometimes comes to our houses before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it with them. Just want to move that. He divides it with them. And when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes, if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will be angry at the householders, and for his revenge, he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Then, when the children begin crying, Krishna will go away. Text 30. I can only see a little bit of it, but when the milk and curd are kept high on a swing hanging from the ceiling, and Krishna and Balaram cannot reach it, they arrange to reach it by piling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. Being quite aware of the contents of the pot, they poke holes in it. While the elderly gopis go about their household affairs, Krishna and Balaram sometimes go into a dark room, brightening the place with the valuable jewels and ornaments on their bodies, and take advantage of this light by stealing. Is that where I end, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank
Yes,
you.
Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you. So here in this section, you are seeing that Krishna Balaram, they were crawling together. Then they were crawling when they hit the ankle bells and going and then realizing this is not my mum. Maybe you have had this experience in childhood. You know, we see it all the time that kids are doing like this. I remember not recently, but a few years ago when Haridev, he just went to some random woman in Sainsbury's thinking it to be his mum. And then he got frightened when he realized that it's not his mum. And he came back running, crying to his mum, like that, you know, like, so this kind of activities, very cute, very adorable activities they were doing. And they would grab onto the tail of the calf, and the calf would run. And then the others would laugh. They would crawl through the cow dung and the urine, and they would smear their bodies with the mud, and others would get great delight from seeing the Lord like that. Then when they became a bit older, they learned how to walk together. They would walk into the houses, and immediately as soon as they started walking, they did one thing. What did they do? Stealing butter. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for you. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The same Krishna that sages will meditate on for thousands and thousands of years and he doesn't give them anything. That same Krishna, when the cow says moo, he will ask so many questions. That same Krishna, when the yogis are trying to hear his voice, he's silent to them. That same Krishna is going and running in the houses and stealing the butter, pinching the little babies and causing mischief. So there's the trick I've just revealed, actually. I was going to ask a question, but I revealed the answer. If you want Krishna, which method should you follow? The method of the sages or the method of the Vrajavasis? If you want Krishna quickly, which method you should follow?
Brajvasi.
Vrajavasis, Prabhu.
Vrajavasis.
We will follow Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada is a Vrajavasi. So Srila Prabhupada explains in those purports that one cannot Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto. Vedeshu durlabam. By the process of Vedic regulative principles, it is very difficult to get Krishna. Atma bhakto. For the devotee who captures Krishna in the heart, it's very easy to get Krishna. So how do we capture? Do we do Vedic rituals and ceremonies? No. We don't follow the Vedas, therefore we follow the devotees. That's how we think. We don't follow the complicated, regimented, 16-fold process of the Vedas. Rather, we follow the process of the devotees. So the devotees have set forth the process. Srila Prabhupada has Krishna, therefore he can give us Krishna. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dhite pavo, tomara shakati ache. We sing like this about the Guru, right? Ohe Vaishnava Thakura dhoyala sagara. So this is the Vaishnava. This is the way you catch Krishna, by capturing in your heart, and that is done by the Vrajavasis. Therefore, we take shelter from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has given that mood of Vraja to the entire world. Before, only few people in Vraja had that mood. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful person. He gave that throughout the world. And Srila Prabhupada fulfilled, as the soldier in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, that criteria. So if you want to experience these pastimes of Krishna, then we need to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. And that wonderful joy you can imagine, we can only imagine and we're feeling happiness. Imagine how good the real thing is. Just imagine how wonderful that is. That we can get by serving Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I'm looking at time. What's the best thing to do?
Yeah, so you can actually explain rather than asking what else you want to do. You want to summarize, go to the next section, or focus on this section more?
Sorry, I think I lost you. I think my internet's not good.
The internet
Next
is not
section,
so
Prabhuji.
good. Yeah.
Next section.
Prabhuji, we can stay till
Section.
9 if you don't mind.
No. I mean, what I was saying, next section in the chapter. Do you want to focus on that, or would you like to discuss this again more? Do you want to focus? Do you want to add any further details here?
No, we'll go to the next section. And we'll try and finish in 10 minutes.
It's fine.
That's
Yeah,
okay with
yeah.
you.
So no need to ask the devotees to read. Actually, that's what I've been doing.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I really like these translations, especially the ones of Krishna playing with Balaram in Vrindavan. So this section is the activities, the naughty, mischievous activities are described from verse number 20 to 32. Then in 32, we hear about a particular incident. Now, many people, they have framed Krishna incorrectly. I will tell you that. Balaram and his gang, they have ganged up on Krishna and they've done such a good job that even today people believe him. But guess what? Krishna never ate dirt. As per Shastra, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna never ate the dirt. But Balaram and his team have done such a good job of telling lies that even today we believe that Krishna had dirt. But Krishna did not eat dirt. This is there in the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam. But the Vrajavasis will tell you differently. They will tell you, no, he definitely ate dirt. But that's because of Balaram and his conspiracy theory. So in 32, Balaram goes and complains to Mother Yashoda. Your boy Krishna has eaten matti, dirt. He's eaten the dirt. And why did Balaram do that? It's because Krishna was causing mischief in other people's houses. And Mother Yashoda was lenient because he's a cute boy. She was not chastising him. So Balaram comes up with a conspiracy theory that Krishna is getting us all in trouble. And he is going scotch-free because of his transcendental trickery. Let's put a little, fake allegation on him. So they say, Krishna has eaten dirt. You go and check on him. And so then Krishna says, no, I did not eat. I did not eat. Mother Yashoda says, oh, Krishna, you're so agitated because someone has put a complaint on you. You cannot be agitated. If you never ate dirt, then why are you agitated? Why did Balaram say that? Why did all your friends say that? And then Krishna says in verse 35, Naham bhakshitvan amba. I have not eaten amba. I have not eaten my dear mother. Sarve mitya bhishamshina. All these friends are liars. They're complaining against me. Yadi satya girastarhi samaksham pashyame mukam. Pashyame mukam. Look in my mouth if you want to see the truth. And so, Mother Yashoda was challenged like that. What will Mother Yashoda do? She naturally looks in Krishna's mouth. Krishna's mouth does not contain dirt. Krishna, when he opens his mouth wide, he shows something dramatically different. It's better than anything you can even expect to see. Krishna shows this. When Krishna opened his mouth wide by the order of Mother Yashoda, she saw within his mouth all moving and non-moving entities, 1. Outer space, 2. All directions, 3. Along with mountain, island, ocean, and surface of the earth, 4. The blowing wind, 5. Fire, 6. The moon and the stars, 7. She saw the planetary systems, 8. Water, light, air, sky, 9. And creation transformed of Ahankara. She even saw the false ego transforming this creation. She saw the senses, the mind, sense perception, the 3 qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance. She saw the time allotted for the living entity. She saw the natural instinct and the reactions of karma. She saw the desires and different varieties of bodies, moving and non-moving. Seeing all these aspects of cosmic manifestation along with herself and Vrindavan Dham, she became doubtful and fearful of her son's nature. She looked into Krishna's mouth expecting to see dirt, and she saw the entire world. She saw time itself. She saw herself in Vrindavan. It's described elsewhere that she saw all the living entities, which means, guess what? That means she has seen you and me. Mother Yashoda, we cannot believe what she saw in Krishna's little mouth. She saw everything. She saw that. This is described as one of the times that Krishna revealed his universal form. She saw everything in the mouth of Krishna. The mountain, the sky, the stars, the 3 modes, everything she saw. That's what she saw. Can you even fathom seeing that? Imagine like some of you are mothers on this call. Your boy's eaten something. How many times boys put the things in their mouth they should not put? All the time, right? And you say, hey, take that thing out of the mouth. And then what do? You quickly open the mouth to check. Nothing is there. Imagine one time you did like that. out of nowhere. All these universes, all these planets, three modes of nature, Ahankara, eternal time, all living entities, and then you see yourself there as well, are the cherry on the cake. How would you feel? Mother Yashoda was completely mesmerized and shocked, actually. And she says to herself, like, am I sleeping? Literally, she says, am I in a dream? Is this a dream? Is this illusory creation created by material energy? Has this been manifested by my own intelligence, or is it some mystic power of my child? She goes like, what happened? Am I seeing something? Maybe, like something's happened to my intelligence. Maybe I'm under illusion, under some ill effect. Maybe something has happened. This way, she becomes mesmerized and bewildered. After seeing like that, what was revealed becomes revealed. It becomes again hidden from her. And again, she returns to her normal state as a mother, you can say. And she thinks, oh, something just happened, but it's okay. Krishna's just an ordinary boy. He's not God. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur highlights an important verse in this section, a very powerful verse. And he highlights a point that's theologically extremely significant, and we probably don't have the time and the depth to go into, but it's a point that will come throughout the 10th canto on the nature of rasa, and on the nature of bhakti, and then on the nature of prema. So that verse we will recite. Can you recite this verse if possible?
This one?
Yeah.
Right. Trayoshapani, what like?
Traya Chopanishad. Sorry.
Yeah. My screen is a little, yeah. Trayachopanishadhaischa Sankhya Yogaischa Satvatahai Upagiyamana Mahamyam Harim Samanyatatmajam.
Thank you. This verse is considered, according to Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, his Paribhasha Sutra. Jiva Goswami says, Etesham Shakalaha Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam. He says that is the essence of this book for me. Jiva Goswami says. But Jiva Goswami is writing for the philosophers. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur doesn't care about philosophers. He's writing for the devotees. So he's writing for the devotees. What will the devotees find the essence of scripture? This, he says, is the essence. Okay? The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the three Vedas, the Upanishads, the literature of Sankhya Yoga, and other Vaishnava literature. Yet, Mother Yashoda considered that Supreme Person her ordinary child. Many of us, if we read this verse and I did not tell you that, you would not think that this is an important verse. But this is the essence of scripture for a pure devotee. That shows that there's a mindset of the devotee which is different. Why? What matters so much about this verse? Harim Samanyam Atmanam. She considered Hari just to be her ordinary child. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying this is the essence of all Shastra. Forget Krishna says all these things in Bhagavad Gita, forget all these things. Why is Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur saying? Devotees, what would you say? What is so powerful about that point?
Prabhuji, basically, I feel that because of the love, motherly love, or different way we approach Krishna is what that matters to him rather than anything else. It's the love that matters to him.
Okay, so Srisha Mataji is saying very nicely about.
Is it also the reciprocation that Krishna can have with his devotees that's so special for him?
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So you're saying that it's not just about the love, but also about reciprocation. Yes, thank you. That's very nice. Anything else?
Yeah, they don't care Krishna to be God, right? So even though Mother Yashoda had observed the universal, form in the mouth in the previous chapter and in this chapter, and she just acts as if nothing happened, and she forgets, and then she just treats Krishna to be a ordinary child.
Yeah. The point is, it's not just about love. It's not just about that Krishna is God. It's the fact that Krishna is God doesn't matter. We love Krishna because Krishna is God. But they love God because God is Krishna. Does that make sense? We love Krishna because he's God, but they don't love Krishna because he's God. They love God because he's Krishna. In fact, they don't care whether he's God. Because even the Gopas of Braj, they kind of figure out at one point that this guy must be God because Indra and Varuna and all of these people are coming around and hanging out with him. And when he picks up the Govardhan hill, then they see actually that Indradev is there. They figure out something is interesting, but they don't care. They love Krishna because he's Krishna. They don't care about the fact he's God. We think, Krishna, I am yours. But the pure devotee thinks, Krishna,
you are mine.
You are mine. This is the essence of scripture. It's not that Krishna is the supreme person. Yes, the Vedas, the Upanishads, everything we need to do, especially as sadhana bhaktas, we have to follow these things in great depth. But the essence of love is that Krishna is Krishna. It's not that Krishna is God. In Vrindavan, Krishna is more human than he is superhuman. So Krishna in Vraj is a whole different mood. And therefore, when we say, what's the essence of our philosophy? Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshatanayastadhama Vrindavanam. Aradhyo Bhagavan, our worshipable Bhagavan, worshipable Lord. Who is that? Vraja Ishatanaya, the son of Maharaj Nanda. Tadhama Vrindavanam. And he's in Vrindavan. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was an incredible scholar of Vedanta, and that time they had something called the Brahma Sutras or the Vedanta Sutra, and that was hidden. But he learned it all from his different teachers, and he memorized the whole book and compiled it together, even though his teachers had hidden it from him. The Brahmanas had hidden it. He was so smart, he put that together. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya met Lord Chaitanya, and in the end of his book that he writes, he says, after all I am looking for is a little blue ball. That's the essence of his book. After he meets Lord Chaitanya, he writes a scripture. In the essence of his scripture, he says, I don't know anything. All I know is I'm chasing for a little blue boy. This is the essence of scripture for the devotee. So all that we do, if it does not bring us to the point of loving Krishna, we are missing something. If we don't go for that goal, that I need to love Krishna, if our goal is purification, that's wonderful. But our goal should be even more than purification. I should purify myself so that I can love Krishna. That should be the goal. Harim Samanyam Atmaja. Paribhasa Shruti. That is the essence. So irrespective of the fact that Krishna is God, she loved him as her son. That is the essence of love. That is the essence of scripture. That is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we need to elevate through the practice of sadhana bhakti to the point that we can gradually develop this feeling. Someone may say, I love Krishna so much. Prabhupada says, many people say, I love Krishna so much. But the test is, if you also love Maya, that means you do not love Krishna. That we should remember. So I'm telling the goal is loving Krishna. Then we might think, oh, I do actually love Krishna. But we don't have real love. Let's say Krishna says, let's say you love someone, a boy is in love with a girl, and the girl says, I don't like this, but I still like this though. Is that boy really in love with that girl? Jiva Goswami gives this analogy. And he says, just as a boy is naturally in love with the girl and will give up anything to be in love with that girl, similarly, a pure devotee is willing to give up any material enjoyment just because they want Krishna. They're happy to say, I don't care about the world, I just want Krishna. They don't have that feeling of attachment for Maya. So we need to try and cultivate that. It's an extremely powerful point of theology. And we can spend, I know that His Holiness Banaswami Maharaj has written actually a book on this verse. One whole book, big book, written on just about this verse, this line actually. What is the essence of Gaudiya Vaishnava theology? It's this verse. So, let's just summarize for today. First, we explained that The chapter 8 follows from 6 and 7, Putana, Trinavarta, Shakatasura. And in this chapter, Shukadev Goswami is Samadhi. He remembers, I forgot to tell some pastimes about name giving. He tells 3 things in this chapter. 1, name giving ceremony. 2, he tells about the childish activities of Krishna Balaram. And 3, he talks about the universal form being seen in the mouth of Lord Krishna, the universe being seen in the mouth of Krishna. Then we talked in detail about the beginning. Grihastha should invite saintly persons, sannyasis, detached persons from the world, into their house to purify them, but they should make sure that they are bona fide. That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is that as Garga Muni, Gargacharya hid away from Kamsa, not because Krishna can't do, but because that's his duty as a servant, we also should use our intelligence to be careful and protect our devotional service. Lesson number 3, in the way that Garga Muni gave Krishna his name, we should take that name and we should chant it. Okay? And lesson number 4 for us is that the ultimate goal of all of our practice of Krishna consciousness is to love Krishna. That's the goal. There is no goal beyond this. Everything else is nice, stability, all of those things are good, but the goal is not those things. The goal is to love Krishna. And so that's what we should do by following the process of the Vrajavasis, of the mood of Lord Chaitanya, and that mood we can find in Srila Prabhupada. So following the path of Srila Prabhupada, with this as our goal, then we'll make proper progress. Thank you all, dear devotees. I don't know if we have time for questions, but
Yeah, we have time. If they're there,
I'm
if
happy to
they're
conclude
here,
here.
if they're here, they can ask the question. Yes, if they have any comments or questions, so no problem with the time. Yes, Ramesh Prabhu.
Hare
Oh
Krishna,
no,
Prabhu. Pranam.
he's going to ask some philosophical questions.
No. I'm sorry. I joined very late. What was the verse that you were referring to at the end that Bhanu Maharaj wrote the book on?
It is 10.8.45. It's considered
Okay.
the Bhasa Sutra of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur.
You said 10.8.45?
Yeah.
10.8.45.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Oh,
you,
please.
Prabhu. Thank you for not asking a difficult question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, Nisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just got a question about the astrology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's a big one because most of the India people are like who does astrology actually doing for money, so they are agnostic, all of them, and they lose their power as well because many of the predictions have come true. My own personal experience, I've been said into one of the things which really come true, which I was just so astonished by, like how could this guy know that this gonna happen to me?
Yeah, so I'll just explain what Srila Prabhupada has said. Srila Prabhupada did not like when people do Brahminical activities for their livelihood. At the same time, they have to maintain their livelihood. So generally, the process should be that the astrologer does something and then there's dakshina given afterwards. Of course, in this age, it's not so possible. Astrology has its place. Srila Prabhupada mentions in quite a few purports. Srila Prabhupada himself followed astrology in quite a few times. So, for example, Srila Prabhupada never left home on a Thursday. He never organized any important meetings on a Thursday because, according to his Jyotisha that his father had checked, he should not do anything important on a Thursday. So that's Srila Prabhupada's, according to Srila Prabhupada's astrologer. So he did follow. It's not to say that he did not follow. And we know that Gaur Mohan Dev paid that astrologer a lot of money to get the astrology done. So you can hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that Srila Prabhupada has given us the philosophy, but also in his practical life, he's also demonstrated how to deal in Kali Yuga. So hopefully that answers the statement that we understand that this is the philosophy, but we also understand we have to deal with these things in this way in Kali.
Okay, one more question. Actually, I have 3. Everybody who looks at Krishna's pastime stealing the butter, some of them say that, some of them, I don't know, ignorantly follow that okay, they can steal butter as well. It's just one of the thing happened in front of me, so and I was like, you can't do this because it's Krishna's God, that's why he's allowed, but now you're not allowed. And somebody was actually stealing butter at my work.
Hey, tell them.
Hmm?
Prabhupada always says, whenever someone says they want to imitate Krishna, tell them do two things. One, show universal form. Two, lift Govardhan Hill.
Okay. All right.
No,
Okay.
but as a point of philosophy, Krishna is Leela Avatar. He's not Maryada Purushottam. Krishna is not an example to follow, but he's someone you want to listen and have so much joy by just listening. That's what you should do for Krishna's pastimes. If you want a person's example to follow, Krishna says, Name partasti kartavyam trishlokeshu kinchana nana vartam avaptavyam varta eva karmani. He says that I am setting an example. But the Acharyas explain that Krishna is not setting an example in his avatar, he's setting an example in the incarnation of Lord Ramachandra. So when Krishna says that in Gita, follow my example, he's saying follow the example of Sri Ramachandra. If you follow Lord Ram, you will not have problems. But if we follow Krishna, we'll get into all kinds of problems. We are not meant to imitate Krishna.
All right. Okay.
Also, it is Krishna's butter anyway. So if you see that.
Yeah, it was only the butter stealing. So
It's
happened in
Krishna's,
my
no.
As in,
Philosophically, it's Krishna's. Everything is Krishna's. Once Prabhupada said,
he's not stealing.
One person came to Prabhupada and said to Prabhupada that, why Krishna is playing with other, person's wives. And actually, Prabhupada said, you are enjoying with, that his wife was next to him. So he said, Prabhupada said, actually, you are enjoying Krishna's property. Krishna is not enjoying your property. So everything belongs to Krishna philosophically.
It's not stealing, it's actually Krishna's already. We are stealing it by using it.
We stealing his property,
So,
okay.
this is the highest rasa between the devotees, like Krishna is demonstrating an highest rasa, but philosophically everything belongs to Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Just the third question.
By keeping it, we are stealing. If we keep it with us, we are stealing.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Just the third question. You mentioned about 3 names of Lord Balram, and you said about something about the plow. I just completely missed that bit. What was the how is it related, the plow and the name?
So the names given are because of the commentaries of Gargamuni. He's explained Rama because he's going to make other people happy, Bala because of his extraordinary physical strength, and Sankarshana because he's bringing together 2 families. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Karshana also refers to the plow, apparently in Sanskrit. Because when you're pulling the plow, you're pulling it to you.
Sorry, Prabhuji, you're not audible.
When you're pulling the plow, you're pulling it to you.
Okay.
Therefore, the plow is called many times Karshana, Akarshana or Karshana, because it's something you attract to yourself.
Okay.
And so because you're pulling the plow towards you, and he will always pull the plow, he's the holder of the plow, Haladara, therefore he's also called Sankarshana. Okay. There are other commentaries given as well, but this is good for now.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So we will end the session here. Thank you everyone for attending today. So we, gone past our time, but it's more Bhagavatam, more Bhagavad Gita we heard. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Next Thursday, it is Balram Jayanti, appearance of Sri Balram. So we are having a program in the temple in the evening, as it is working day. So we will not be holding our usual session on Thursday next week. So there won't be any session next week. And we will hopefully resume week after. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.